Picture this, you're running a business, you use Excel and Notebook for tracking expenses, Slack channels for projects and task management, and collaborative work between employees is just Slack, Discord, or even WhatsApp. Eventually, the scattered data piles up and now you have to waste time just to search for one single piece of information. The worst part is that you don't even notice that it is wasting you hundreds of hours every single year. It's like having that one friend who is always complaining to you without you realizing that it is slowly draining your energy. I'm Aaron, I'm a Notion consultant for businesses, and it's something that I've noticed so many times, especially in startups. They postpone creating a proper system, the business does grow, but before you know it, the team also grew and now an actual system is now a must. The transition becomes extremely hard and now they're stuck wasting hundreds of hours with the old system. So in this video, I'll show you how much time your team is actually wasting without a proper system in place, what are the actual costs of it, and most importantly, how to get them back. To put into perspective, we would use this calculator that is created by Matthias Frank, which is also a Notion consultant. According to McKinsey, employee wastes an average of 9.3 hours just searching for information. So if you are a startup and you have about 5 employees and your average monthly salary per employee is about 5,000, these are the 3 main business processes, so let's rate them together. For knowledge management, let's say your company is under the culture of asking, meaning that for most information, you have to get it from someone else. But you use Google Docs to document and share some information, so let's put it on Word. That would mean that you will be spending about 4 hours per week on this single process. For project management, this is the worst I've seen for a lot of companies. A lot of startups just straight up use some kind of communication platform to assign tasks like Slack, Discord, or even WhatsApp. So I'll put this on very poor, which means that 7 hours is wasted on this. And finally, for meeting management, this actually surprises me quite a bit because it is the one process that most companies actually manages quite well. I see people actually use recording tools like Fathom, Firefly, or even Notion AI meeting notes. So I would put this on good, not excellent though, because I noticed that they usually just leave the recording there and then it is there to collect dust. There are no summarization or key decisions recorded anywhere. So that would mean only 1 hour per week spent. Now, this calculator uses a 50% recapture rate for the processes, but usually if the system is implemented correctly, it would save a lot more. So you can see here, knowledge management would save about 2 hours, project management saves about 3.5 hours, and meeting management about 30 minutes. And this would add up about 6 hours saved every single week. And remember that this is only per employee. If you have 5 employees, that would save you a total of 30 hours per week, 117 hours per month, and a total of 1,500 hours saved every single year. Okay, so if you do the calculation, an average 9 to 5 employee would work about 160 hours every month. With a $5,000 salary, that would mean that he is earning about $31 per hour. So if you take $31 times the hours saved, which is 1,500 hours, that would mean that you get $46,500. So this is the exact cost that you're bearing every single year for not having a proper system. So in the future, when you start scaling your business and your team grows, the cost is just going to keep increasing. So how do you actually solve this before it's too late? First, change your business from a culture of asking to a culture of documentation. So instead of people having the information, you would document it down somewhere, especially information that people frequently need like SOPs, company policies, mission, vision, value, and more. So the information holder just has to document it once and everybody gets to see it without asking him. The added bonus is that your company now has a single source of truth. Without it, the information is going to be fragmented in people's mind and they all have different versions of the story. Second, reduce scattered tools and use a single software that can incorporate most of your business operations. A lot of time is just wasted by switching between tools, and especially for startup, it is unnecessary to use a single dedicated software for one process. The nice thing is you could also save on cost by cutting down all of these unnecessary subscriptions for different tools and consolidate it all in one single workspace. It's like paying for YouTube Premium and cancelling Spotify, Netflix, and Hulu. Maybe not the best example, but you get the point. So where can we do all this? Of course, I'm biased towards Notion because I am a Notion consultant, but honestly, I don't see any software that is as good as Notion in terms of managing most of your business operation in one single app. I have seen companies using Slack as their all-in-one app, like using the Slack list feature for their project and task management system and using the Slack canvases feature for documentation. I don't personally like it though because it feels restrictive compared to Notion. So I'll be showing you how you can improve the 3 main business processes in Notion immediately today. For knowledge management, Notion is actually quite good at documentation and sharing the knowledge. You just have to create a page, enter the information, and if you want to share it, you can click on the share button on the top right and either invite them by typing in their email or publish it to the web. This is best if you want to store all the common questions that your employee might have, like company policies, SOP and stuff. You're just sort of creating a company wiki. For project and task management, if you're new to Notion and you feel overwhelmed by all the bells and whistles, try using Notion templates first. These are basically just ready-made templates that are built by Notion users, and the free ones are actually pretty good. For example, you could use these projects and task management created by Notion itself. It is quite simple, but to get everyone to use the new system as fast as possible, simple is best. Though in the future, you might want to use automations, database templates, and all the other stuff to improve it. And finally, for the meeting management, I personally use the Notion AI meeting notes to record a transcript, and Notion AI would automatically summarize it, but do note that you need Notion Business Plan to use this feature. You could also try using another app called Fathom. I personally tried it before, but Notion AI seems to summarize things a little better. Plus, that requires another subscription, which I don't see the point of since Notion AI can already do it. The only drawback is that Notion AI currently only records audio and not video. So I use OBS Studio to record and then embed it on top here like this. I have been experimenting with Fathom for video recording and Notion AI for audio recording. So far it seems good. The only thing is that the video quality is a little bad, but I can't complain since Fathom is free. So hopefully one day Notion will release a video recording feature. That would be nice. Notion, please. Okay, so before you go and start creating multiple different systems to consolidate all of your business operations in Notion, avoid these 3 biggest common pitfalls that I've noticed in my client. The first and foremost, although I am extremely biased to Notion, do not transfer everything over to Notion. There are some things that Notion cannot do, like it can't be your password manager. It is also not really a good way of communication. You still need a proper platform for that. Or maybe you have an extremely complicated CRM, then that probably can't be transferred over to Notion. But for most of the business operations, especially for startups, I'm pretty sure you can transfer over to Notion. The second pitfall is mainly towards people that have used Notion for their personal life. They would tend to create a system that is extremely complicated because they try to make it efficient. They would have 20 different databases, hundreds of pages, and they would have 50 different properties in one single database and doing all of these extra things. It technically is efficient, but it's only efficient for that one person who built it. None of the team member gets it at all, and eventually the team member just stops using it and they go back to their old system. So unless your entire team is used to Notion, it's very important that you start off with something that is extremely simple. Then only when your team is ready, that's when you start making some improvements. And the last one is not having a proper structure in your system. It's similar to building a solid foundation to a house. If the foundation is terrible, the building will eventually collapse. In terms of Notion, if you do not have the proper structure, your team is going to just randomly create pages wherever they want. The workspace is going to get extremely messy and it'll be way too time consuming to organize everything in the future. Okay, this is probably a lot of information in one single video and you might be feeling a little overwhelmed. So if you can afford it, your best choice is to actually hire a Notion consultant, especially since you have way more important things to focus on in your business rather than trying to learn a new software. We would understand your business, provide better solutions, create a Notion workspace that is both scalable and intuitive, migrate your data from old tools, and finally train your team to use the new system. So if you want to save hours by cutting scattered tools and endless information searching with the help of a Notion consultant, book your free business audit with the link in the description below. Worst case, you leave the call with a few free suggestions that you can apply to your business today.